Hey friends, so I am just soaking some kelp noodles in here to prepare to make some kelp noodle nori roll wraps tonight. They are so good. And this is the brand of kelp noodle I'm using. Ingredients, just water, kelp, sodium alginate, which is, I believe, just algae, essentially. There's no... Well, there might be added salt or natural salt in there. I'm guessing natural salt from the kelp. And what you do, it says somewhere on here, there it is. Rinse in water before prepare and cut the noodles to desired length and then store in the refrigerator. So I am just soaking these in filtered water at least 30 minutes or maybe even longer, and then I will marinate them. Yum. So here we have our kelp noodles. They've been soaked, rinsed, drained. I actually added some hot water to them because they're quite crunchy, crispy. And I thought that might help soften them up a bit. And you know, I love massaging everything, so y'all know that's gonna happen. Anyway, we've got some different things to marinate them with. I have here some ginger minced with red pepper flakes. Go ahead and add that. It's about an inch of ginger. I didn't peel it because it's organic and I want every last bit of that goodness. I have juice of 1 organic lime. You could also use lemon. You could use some coconut vinegar, rice vinegar, whatever you like. And then here is about a 1/4 cup of coconut aminos. I cut it with water because it was the last bit in the bottle and I wanted again to get every last little bit out of it. So you know, you could do a little bit of this, you know, with your spoon if you want, but like I said, I like massaging everything energetically. This is the opportunity. This is the moment. This is when I'm like, yo, make yourself into delicious, nourishing food that I'm gonna love and that's gonna love me back. Y'all, I can feel it now. Oh my God, I'm just saying that. It's so much softer now. It's like it just changed from crunchy, kind of awkward kelp noodle into like really nice textured pasta, almost like an angel hair. Still a little bit crunchier maybe, but much nicer. It's like, she's like, yeah, I wanna go in your wraps later. So I will just leave that like that for a while now, still at room temperature. And we will let that marinate at least about half an hour. Longer is better with marinating though. So if you want to make this in the morning and then have it for dinner, that is fine. It's just gonna taste more flavorful. All right, we'll let that sit and come back later to assemble the wraps. Hey friends, we are back in the kitchen and just gonna finish up the kelp noodle nori rolls, actually assemble them. So I'm gonna try and position you in such a way so that you can actually see what I'm doing. And this recipe video will be helpful to you, maximally so. So let's see here. Ah, look at that. Look at that view. Okay, first things first. We got all of our things, right? So nori sheet, very important here. I like this brand. See that? You can get these on Amazon. I buy about 100 at a time. That way I never run out and it's a cost-effective way to do it. I will put a link to these in the description. So first, we do the greens. These are just mixed power greens, organic from the ever wonderful Costco wholesaler. So you just want to do a nice little layer of these babies, pack them in, and then what I like to do next is go ahead and add some of the kelp noodles. Now, we marinated these earlier. I strained them again from the marinade so that they're not ultra juicy here, because these wraps can get a little soggy and we don't want that, right? They are a more time sensitive food. So next, I've got cucumber spears cut up all nice. We will add one of those. You just want to layer things strategically so this is rollable. Next, we'll add some beautiful avocado. I mean, this really takes it over the top, next level. And then got some mixed sprouts here that I grew. These are some very happy sprouts. I believe this mix is radish, and then it's got some kind of bean in there, maybe some lentils, clover. So it's got a kick. Together with the ginger and the red pepper flakes, I am gonna be awake while I enjoy this meal. So here in this special little sauce container that I love oh so very much, this is the marinade from earlier. I just strained it from the noodles, and then I'm just gonna use it here to wet the end of the nori wrap. I'll go ahead and wet this end as well. And now here's the trick. Just carefully rolling, and hopefully I didn't overfill this one. As carefully as you can, and y'all, it takes practice. Ain't no shame in your game. And then what I like to do is kind of scoot it on down here at the end and let it sit. I'm not gonna cut it immediately. I'll go ahead and make another one that y'all can watch. Maybe I'll be fancy and like, yeah, fast forward this, or I don't know, maybe I won't. Still figuring out the art of the recipe video here. It is an art form, you know? There's so many ways to do it. No right or wrong way. Can make it really fancy, can make it really simple. Yeah, so I'm just gonna have fun with this. So this whole meal I created originally when I was in Seattle staying with some friends last summer. And I just discovered really the kelp noodles, and y'all, they are fabulous. The texture, like I said, is so unique. It's so actual noodle-like. You could also substitute cucumber noodles, of course, or zoodles, or carrot noodles if you don't want to use the kelp noodles, no problem. But this just makes it a little different, a little something special. So we're gonna roll this up. Once again, carefully. Consciously, carefully. There we go. Like I said, this is in my book. This recipe comes from Raw Food Ayurveda, Volume 2. It's in there with all the details, all the specifications for your dosha. This is pretty friendly to everyone. Kelp noodles weren't around back in the time when Ayurveda was originally created, so I'm not sure, you know, how they fall doshically. You're gonna have to see for yourself. But I would imagine they're fairly mild. They are wet, especially when they're rehydrated and marinated like this. Now we have some vata and kapha soothing ginger and red pepper flakes in here. This would be something that my pitta friends, including myself, would want to avoid or omit, reduce if pitta is aggravated. But right now I am all good, so I'm gonna include it as a pitta dominant person. Cucumber is nice and cooling for pitta, friendly to vata as well. Kapha, you know, you're gonna have to see with that. It is so water rich, so traditionally it's not thought to be balancing for kapha, but it might be for you. See what works for you. In our marinade also, coconut aminos is kind of the renegade ingredient. So if you're avoiding salt, you would want to skip the coconut aminos, and I give these suggestions in my book. You could use all lime juice, lemon juice, orange juice even. You could blend up some mango, throw in some dulse flakes. The coconut aminos is really just, you know, something special. If it works for you, great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. If you do tamari or namashoyu or something like that, you could use that in this as well. So make it your own. Listen to your body. I haven't eaten coconut aminos in a while, actually. I was eating it quite a lot when I was making some of the first recipes in my book, and then I stopped eating it. And today I was like, you know, I want to make these noodle rolls because I want to use up the last bit of coconut aminos. Isn't that funny? How we get inspired by strange things. You know, I'm not gonna fight it. So this will be kind of a check-in with my body. How do I do with coconut aminos? Okay, let's see. I like to do that from time to time. And it also reminds me not to get too strict or stringent. That being said, find what works for you and do that. And yes, so kapha would do well to be careful with the avocado, right? It is a fatty, rich, oily food. So if you have a lot of excess weight, or maybe you're working with diabetes, pre-diabetes, you would want to reduce or eliminate the fat. I used half an avocado between all these wraps. That should be fine for pitta dominant folks and vata dominant folks. Again, vata and pitta, either any of you guys, you might do well with more or less avocado. Just see what works for you. I mean, I feel like a broken record saying that, but I think it does bear repeating, because what works for one person might not work for all. So I just sharpened my knife. It's really handy when you're cutting tomatoes or when you're cutting any kind of wrap or nori roll. I find it's important to have your knife very sharp. Now I'm rotating this around so that I cut the ones that I rolled first. And I mean, you could do bite-sized pieces if that's your jam. I think I'm just gonna do like this. And that cut really nicely, and you can see, look at this. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Oh my God, I love wraps. So yeah, just arrange them on my beautiful wooden plate. Got sprouts going everywhere. They are playful, y'all. So many wraps. This one, gotta check the seal a little bit. So yeah, friends, here's what we got. Is that not abundant goodness right there? I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. Let you look at them. Look at that. Yummy. All right. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the recipe video. Like I said, these are my kelp noodle nori rolls. You can find the whole recipe and recommendations for your dosha in my new book, Raw Food Ayurveda, Volume 2, available as an ebook right now, soon to be in paperback just as soon as Amazon and I work out a couple more little things. So like this video if you like it, subscribe if you want more. I'll be coming back at you with more recipes, tips, inspiration, information, and more. In the meantime, much love to you. Take care, and thanks for watching. Namaste.